Jim will be out of business
Weatherman
after
Pete.
August 3rd, so I'm practicing the weatherman. As you can see, I'm in Harlem, New York. What up, Harlem? I love y'all, you know, but my shit don't go that fast, though, kid. But anyway, I just want to say, after August 3rd, I'm going to be the new weatherman. If I ain't going to be it, Kiss is going to fill in, or we're going to have to do this shit together. But August 3rd, after August 3rd, no more weatherman from Capo.
Styles P didn't just clap back, he set the whole scene on fire. Alongside Jadakiss, he came through with pure pressure, no filters, no holding back, every bar sounding like a warning shot. You could feel that energy shaking speakers, raw and unpolished, like something real was being settled in real time. And let's not play dumb, all signs point straight at Jim Jones.
I didn't start it. They asked me how I felt about what was said about me on another platform from some other people. You know, that's something I'm not a troublemaker.
He's been moving like someone with a score to settle, chest out in interviews, stacks flashing online, talking heavy like he's still knee-deep in the old days. That overdrive energy been looking forced, and now it's circling back on him fast. For years, Jim's been pushing that switch up, from Harlem street name to luxury fashion boss, acting like the glow-up erased the questions. But the streets never stop watching, and the whispers been loud like, is he still that dude, or just playing a role for attention? And that's exactly what Jada and Styles put on blast without even saying his name. That shade was thick, nasty, and impossible to miss.
It's over.
All you gotta do is pull up here. You know, you wanna join me? Pull up and join me. You know what I'm saying? Pull right up here and you can join me. I'm on live.
Yeah, talk that shit. Yeah.
We're here, baby. Pull up.
Know what's up?
211, never here.
Know what's up, y'all?
You know what I mean? We're here, baby. J1 pulling up. He went home. You know, after the gym, he want to go get fleet. All you got to do is pull up. 211, never here. Get checked out. And everything else will fall in line after that. I'm out here with the legends, man. You know what I mean?
My man,
you
right
see
here.
it, man. OG Prince, man, one of the most solid individuals ever touched the universe.
Right.
We keep it solid, we keep it real original over here, 100%. You see who pulls up? The real ones. And we keeping it solid. That's all we do over here. No extra bullshit. If you ain't coming on that type of time, stay where you at. Get your prostate checked, get you a juice. Juice is for life.
When Styles dropped that line, you can't buy street credit, you earned that, the internet went crazy. That hit pride harder than anything money could fix. No matter the chains or designer fits, it can't replace a legacy built on loyalty, pressure, and real war stories. Jim's whole energy been screaming insecure lately, always shouting King of New York, jumping into petty back and forth, just trying to keep his name hot and the spotlight on him. That loud talk don't feel natural, it feels forced, like he's chasing validation instead of standing solid. After the LOX embarrassed Dipset during that legendary Verzuz battle, the smart move would have been taking that loss with some pride and falling back. But nah, Jim couldn't help himself. He had to keep talking, poking, and stirring the pot. Everybody remembers that night clear as day. Jadakiss turned Madison Square Garden into his personal territory. That wasn't just a win, that was domination on a public stage, no debate, no excuses. Now Jada and Styles P are back applying pressure, reminding Jim who really moves the needle in New York. Lately, Jim feels off, like he's stuck playing a character instead of standing in his truth. And Styles ain't built to hold his tongue.
Jim Jones.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, he's been in a few fights.
Has he won any?
I believe so.
Oh, really? Which one?
They say he beat up
His baby mama or something like that?
Nah, he beat up dude at the restaurant.
Who, the cook?
Let me see.
I don't even think he's from Harlem, tell you the truth.
You don't think he's from Harlem?
Nope. I think because they never talk about him being in Harlem. I think he's from North Bronx or some shit.
You know, he claims a blood gang out there.
Britney Spears claims a blood gang.
That hits different coming from someone who walked the same blocks, faced the same grind, and lived to tell it. The LOX are the blueprint, plain and simple. They set the bar everyone else is still reaching for. Then Jim jumped on podcasts, talking reckless, acting like he runs the whole city. The internet snapped instantly. Jada didn't rush a response. His silence spoke loud. And when he finally talked, it was calm, clean, and deadly. Straight facts, no extra. Real talk. Nobody crowns themselves top tier. You earn that with your catalog, your consistency, and your respect. And when Jada hit him with numbers don't lie, that was straight checkmate. The streets still remember that Verzuz night like it was yesterday. Jadakiss didn't just win, he owned that whole stage. That moment was a full mic drop for the culture, the kind you don't come back from easy. And truth be told, Jim Jones never really recovered from that public shutdown. Then Styles P stepped in and turned the pressure up even higher. No filter, no hesitation, just straight raw truth. He said what everybody was already thinking, but wasn't saying out loud.
Jim Jones, Styles P, let's talk about it. Verzuz started out as how much body of work you got, how many dope-ass singles you got, right? Then it grew and progressed into having levels to this shit. It's sort of like boxing. You think you're going to mash somebody the out until them lights come on, it's a different story. Styles P said, I'm a barsmith. It's levels to this shit. Meaning, look, I can go on my bag with singles, but I can also go on my bags with body and shit, far as freestyles. Can Jim Jones do that? Maybe he can. Have people seen Jim Jones do that? No, they haven't. Because like I said, once you get under them bright lights like a boxer, it's a different.
That hit different, real different. That one line flipped the whole conversation on its head. Suddenly, it wasn't just about rap back and forth anymore. It became about authenticity, about who's really living this and who's just playing a part. And that's exactly where Jim keeps slipping up. This ain't rap drama now, this is legacy versus illusion. Jim might have the flash, the grind, and the designer drip, but Jada and Styles carry a kind of weight money can't touch. They never had to yell King of New York's. The culture crowned them years ago. Meanwhile, Jim's still chasing validation, hunting likes and shares like they trophies. And let's be real, this tension didn't pop up overnight. This storm been building for years, long before that epic Verzuz showdown even happened. It started quiet with sneak disses, freestyles, shady tweets, and subliminal shots. Little Jabs fans brushed off like nothing serious. But now all that low-key tension has blown wide open, turning into a full-on public war with no filters left.
Jones Nas wasn't even a debate. Nas is a legend. Nas put in work. Nas's lyrics. Jim's not even close. The shit Jim says doesn't even make sense compared to what Nas has done for our culture. Hip-hop, don't you stupid motherfucker know, you dumb, idiotic, wanna be entertained. Are you crazy? You don't play with someone's legacy like this. Y'all know it's not even close. I had the Source magazine. I did amazing shit. I helped a lot of you motherfuckers. Motherfuckers whose careers, and believe me, it's not like it was just me, but I had a hand in helping the culture progress, move forward, grab in the street to help put a light on them. Myself, Dave Mays, and the rest of the crew. I've never seen more clown shit in my life. Ain't no way. Now we're going to start taking real legends and legacies, and we're going to start tainting them with this foolishness right now. Are you kidding me? Ain't no way. Ain't no way. You can't play with legacies like that. You can't play with Nas's name and his body of work like that. Everybody knows that Jim Jones catalog ain't got nothing to do with Nas. Why are we even entertaining that? Jim is more relevant than Nas now. Get the out of here with that, man. This shit right here got y'all up. Go listen to Nas, or even go listen to Jim. Music is to be listened to, not to be talked about. This is the most disrespectful, one of the most disrespectful shit that's happened to our culture is how much attention this Jim Jones and Nas shit is getting. It's one of the most disrespectful shit that's happened to our culture. But I'm sure y'all will find some other stupid shit to pay attention to f*** our legacy, to f*** our culture, while the powers that be and the motherfuckers that's holding the strings are steady laughing at us, disrespecting us while they on their yachts and mega mansions. They give us the crumbs, and what happens? We want to flex on each other. Y'all done really let this motherfucking device take over y'all's souls, y'all spirits, y'all's minds. This thing controls everything y'all think, y'all say, and y'all do. Now, do you think God wanted it like that? And y'all can't even help it. Y'all run to this and you stay on it all day and entertain bull. Y'all need to be ashamed of yourself for even entertaining this Nas and Jim shit. Ashamed. But this is what a good example, and I want y'all to hear me, a good example of what social media is doing. Social media can take anybody who ain't and put them against somebody who's one of the greatest orators, speakers, rappers, men in our time. And y'all think that's cool? Y'all think that shit's like fly? Y'all done lost it, bro. Y'all done lost the essence of what life is about, of what being black is about. They're winning.
Styles P even touched on it during a recent live session on Instagram. He said some rappers put more energy into social media than they ever put into real life grind. And everybody knew exactly who that was aimed at. No names needed, no extra explaining. The message landed loud and clear. At this point, Jim Jones's image feels like a walking commercial. Loud, flashy, polished up, but missing that core. Meanwhile, Jadakiss stays calm, sharp, and lethal as ever. When Jada dropped that cold line, it was like a clean shot to the chest. Woo! No wasted words, no theatrics. And let's be real, you can't fake real pressure when you're standing across from artists built on raw lyricism and pure skill. While Jim's busy posing in luxury spots and designer fits, the LOX are still delivering verses that move people, records that actually stick and mean something. The contrast is crazy, and fans are choosing sides faster by the day. Nobody's denying Jim can rap, that's not the issue. But when every move feels like a rollout or a promo play, it's hard for people to feel the music, especially when you're standing next to lyrical heavyweights like Jada and Styles P. They don't need gimmicks, flash, or hype. They are the culture. And what really makes it messier is Jim brushing it off like it's all jokes. But Jada and Styles aren't laughing at all. You can hear it in their tone, feel it in their words. This is serious business. This was never friendly competition. This was a straight call out from two men who earned every stripe they wear. No shortcuts, no gimmicks. There's a clear line between trading bars and crossing boundaries. And Jim Jones crossed it the moment he started sneak dissing like he forgot exactly who he was talking to.
I think Jim was trolling. So I don't have much to say about it because I don't believe that Jim Jones believes that he's a better rapper than Nas, Pusha T, and Styles P. Yeah. I think he's an icon in terms of the fashion
culturally,
shit.
All
and
that.
Yeah, but we got to stop the train at somewhere.
Nas is a good place to stop that train.
Nas is a great place to stop that train for anybody.
Yeah.
When you start naming specific people,
I'm not mad at that.
It feels weird to me. Also, he doesn't have more Billboard entries than Nas. That's the other thing.
I didn't check it.
He does.
I saw some people fact checking, and he don't.
He does not, and it's not particularly close.
It's not.
He doesn't have a bigger listening base.
I wouldn't have thought it was close, but again, I didn't check it.
It's not close, and
Even if you remove features,
even if you get rid of
still
features,
not close.
It's just not close. I mean, you look at Spotify. Nas has 9 million followers. I think Jim has like 850,000. I mean, the traditional metric. You look at Grammys. I don't think they're on the same planet. I don't think that they should be debating that.
See, and that's why it's smart for Jim to insert himself in these conversations.
Right after that Verzuz battle, he even had the nerve to say Jadakiss and Styles P were just mad, claiming he was winning. Winning what though? That question hit the culture hard. Jada sitting on platinum plaques, timeless verses, and streets that still ride for him heavy. Styles P built businesses, dropped real wisdom for the culture, and still raps with hunger like it's day one. That's what winning actually looks like. Longevity, respect, and a legacy money can't touch. Meanwhile, Jim's out here chasing viral moments like it's a sport, posting stunts, stirring drama, doing anything to stay trending. But the LOX see right through that act, and so do the fans. Jim once got real love for being raw, grounded, Harlem to the core. Now even Dipset's loudest supporters are whispering that he's slipping into gimmick mode, like he forgot the golden rule of hip-hop. Authenticity is the real currency, and once that fades, everything else starts looking shaky fast. Jadakiss and Styles P move different, plain and simple. They don't yell, don't posture, don't beg for attention. They've been walking with quiet confidence for decades, striking only when it really matters. And when they strike, it hurts bad. Every time Jim Jones tries to downplay their legacy, it only exposes how shaky he feels about his own. That's why those shots sting so much. because Jada and Styles are saying out loud what people been whispering for years. And let's keep it real, Jim keeps trying to rewrite history like Dipset didn't get completely washed on that Verzuz stage. Nah, that ain't flying. The crowd saw it live. The internet replayed it 1,000 times, and the streets already made their call. Yet every interview, Jim repeats that same tired excuse. We were just having fun, or we wasn't prepared. Man, stop it. Nobody's buying that fairy tale anymore. That Verzuz night wasn't friendly sparring. It was straight domination. Jada went full beast mode, owning the stage, the mic, and the entire room. That wasn't just confidence, that was command. The LOX showed up sharp, focused, and hungry.
He need to go on a diet. He need to get his life together. He need to go to the doctor and get a physical. He looked terrible, bad body, back ass. He looked big around the neck, waist looked crazy. I'm body shaming this. You heard? He need to go get his shit together, get on the treadmill, do some push-ups, do something. You heard? Especially for...
Meanwhile, Dipset looked unorganized, offbeat, and scrambling to keep up. And still, Jim keeps acting like it didn't happen that way. But the people witnessed it live. The energy in that room was electric and undeniable. The power shift was real. No matter how many interviews Jim does trying to spin the story, it only makes him look lost in his own narrative. Because the truth is, this was never just about one night. This is about consistency. Jada and Styles still live in that booth, still sharpening bars that cut clean through the noise. Meanwhile, Jim's juggling fashion collabs, crypto talk, and promo deals like music's just another side hustle. And in hip-hop, people always feel when the passion starts slipping. Hip-hop never forgets, and that's the cold part. When you take a major L and then try to laugh it off instead of learning from it, that's the real loss right there. Especially when those kinds of moves don't just cost streams, they cost respect, and that's way harder to get back. Yeah, Jim Jones might be shooting big budget videos, flexing flashy cars, and rocking designer fits. But the streets ain't really feeling it like that. Fans been keeping it honest. The bars sound empty. No soul, no pain, no real truth behind the shine. Just glossy verses with no real impact. And when your whole rise was built on grit and raw talk, authenticity is the one thing you can't afford to lose. Once that slips, everything else starts looking fake. While Jim's busy lining up photo ops and polishing his image, Jadakiss is still out here dropping verses that shake the internet to its core. No rollout, no gimmicks, just straight pressure. That's the difference, plain and simple. What Jada and Styles P are doing right now is a masterclass in longevity. They're not chasing clout or hopping on whatever trend is hot this week. They're setting the standard. No filters, no tricks, no fake hype. Their legacy already speaks loud. These dudes built their names on bars, not antics. And decades later, they're still standing strong, still respected, still feared on the mic. Jim's heavy on branding these days, no doubt. But branding only works when the product matches the hype. And lately, fans been noticing that gap. Everything looks shiny, but the music feels hollow. All style, no substance. Instead of clapping back with real bars, Jim's out here dropping flashy captions, rocking luxury fits, and talking slick online. That might work for influencers, but this is hip-hop, and the culture always knows the difference. In this culture, you can't stunt your way into respect. The game doesn't care how fly the outfit is if your pen ain't sharp. And that's exactly why this whole situation cuts deeper than some petty back and forth. This is about what hip-hop actually stands for. Skill, substance, and authenticity. When the smoke clears and the clout fades, bars are the only thing that lasts. Always have, always will. And that's why this feels generational. It's old school substance clashing head on with new era showmanship. While Jim Jones is out here trying to wear every hat in the closet, rapper, influencer, entrepreneur, brand ambassador, Jadakiss and Styles P only need one mic to shut the whole room down. No extras, no costumes, just pressure. And this is where things start getting real spicy. Word on the street is Jim's next project might come packed with direct shots aimed straight at Jada and Styles. Insiders whisper he's been quietly cooking something up in the studio, but fans already asking the real question, does Jim really want that smoke? Because when the LOX fire back, they don't just respond, they obliterate. Let's keep it all the way honest. Going bar for bar with Jada is dangerous territory. That pen is lethal. Battle-tested, proven, and still razor-sharp. And Styles P, that's a straight lyrical assassin. Decades deep and still cutting rappers without breaking a sweat. So if Jim really plans on stepping into that ring, he better come correct. No fluff, no filler, just pure fire. Because anything less will look like another clout chasing move going wrong. The LOX don't play when it comes to the booth. Once they lock in, it's lights out, no debate, no rewind. Some fans are low-key excited right now. They hoping this back and forth brings that real old school energy back. That kind of lyrical tension that makes the whole game pause and pay attention. But others are nervous, saying this might expose just how wide that skill gap really is. See, Jadakiss doesn't even have to respond unless he feels like it. That's the type of power you earn, not borrow. He doesn't chase moments. Moments chase him. That's decades of respect built brick by brick, bar by bar, which makes Jim Jones' next move critical. 1 weak verse and this whole conversation is over for good. But let's keep it fair. If Jim somehow drops something real, something raw, something undeniable, that could finally earn him the lyrical respect he's been chasing for years. And that's the real question sitting in the air. Can he actually deliver when it matters most? Because once you strip away the designer fits, the interviews, the photo ops, and all that online noise, this ain't just about Jim, Jada, or Styles P. This is about what hip-hop really values. Jada and Styles come from that era where your bars were your business card, where respect wasn't bought, it was earned line by line, punch by punch. No filters, no gimmicks, just skill and soul. And here's the part people don't like to talk about. Jim came from that same era too. He knew that grind, that hunger, that raw authenticity. But somewhere along the way, he drifted, traded that fire for fame, momentum, and visibility. Now this moment might be his last real chance to prove he can still stand where the real ones stand. Somewhere along the road, Jim switched lanes, maybe to stay relevant, maybe ambition, maybe survival in a game that flips every season. But now he's standing toe-to-toe with legends he once stood beside. And this time there's nowhere left to hide. That bar hit different because this whole situation ain't just about being outside anymore. It's about staying solid when everything around you starts cracking. And right now, Jim Jones is giving off way more confusion than confidence, and fans are picking up on it fast. People are watching this play out in real time, and the reactions don't lie. Some are riding for Jim, saying he's just adapting with the times. But way more voices are siding with the LOX because they never had to switch up to stay relevant. They've been real since day one. No trend chasing, no selling out for clicks, no shortcuts. One thing's for sure, this story isn't ending quiet, but the deeper it goes, the more Jim keeps losing the room. Fans are looking past the flashy chains and remembering the old Jim, the hungry one, the gritty Harlem hustler who dropped We Fly High and held Dipset down in the early 2000s. That version of Jim didn't need gimmicks or wild stunts. His presence alone spoke louder than any diamond chain or designer fit. Now it feels like that hunger got traded for hype. The focus shifted from craft to clout, and people are seeing it clear as day, no filters needed. And here's the part that really matters. Jadakiss and Styles P aren't throwing shots out of hate or jealousy. They're calling it straight out of love for the game. Because for them, hip-hop is heart, bars, and truth. Not algorithms, not image, not fake validation. And deep down, that message hits Jim harder than any diss ever could. These are certified legends we're talking about. Battle-tested, respected, still standing strong. Everything they earned came from blood, sweat, and bars. So when they speak, the whole culture listens. Right now, they're reminding everybody what real hip-hop still sounds like. Raw, fearless, and full of soul. So when people say Jim Jones is veering off, it's not shade at all. It's a warning. A loud, clear wake-up call that's been building for a long time. And now the spotlight is locked on him tight, no escaping it. So what's it going to be? Is Jim finally going to answer back with real bars and let the music speak for itself? Or are we about to see another long live session filled with excuses, slick talk, and image changes? Because right now that pressure is heavy and it's real. The whole culture is watching this play out in real time. Fans, artists, and the streets are all paying attention, waiting to see if Jim still has anything left in the tank. This moment isn't small. This is the kind of moment that can make or break how history remembers you. Either he rises up and proves he still belongs in conversations with real heavyweights like Jadakiss and Styles P, or he fades into the background as just another loud name who lost touch with his roots. There's no middle ground anymore. Now it's on you. We want to hear what you think. Is Jim Jones just trying to survive in a game that keeps changing every year? Or has he drifted too far from what made him iconic in the first place? Drop your thoughts in the comments because this conversation is heating up fast. And before you dip, make sure you like the video, share it, and subscribe for more deep dives into the biggest moments shaking the culture right now. Hit that bell too so you don't miss what's next. This story is far from over, and trust me, you do not want to miss what's coming.